y'all. What is up? Happy Tuesday. I'm just super excited. Did I say I'm excited? I'm excited. I'm super excited about spending some time with you tonight. Let's see if we can get all of, apparently nothing wants to work. So, we're going to just give up on trying to make some of this stuff do what I wanted to do. It's just not working. So let's talk. Let's do some quality time. So I'm so excited to have you because today we're talking about lessons from Spelhouse Homecoming about community. Now, you know what? You're going to want to stay tuned. You're going to want to listen to the whole thing. So don't go anywhere. Stay here. I'm not going to keep you long, but I want to share some things because number one, if you are aware of historically Black college and university culture, you'll know that October in general, but there are a few that have homecoming in November, like Xavier, but October is homecoming time. Now, I know you've heard about homecomings. You may have seen homecomings. I'm not here to hate on homecoming if you didn't go to an HBCU. I know there are probably some things that are a little bit special about our homecomings, but some of the experiences and the lessons out of this homecoming you can get no matter how you do homecoming, but also to really just think about how you use your community to fuel you. Because you know that better seven, those 7 essential areas that are so important for you to have a better life, how one of them is support. And one of the things I talk about so often is how important it is to utilize support so that number one, you're not on, as Shaquita Lockley likes to call it, isolation island. But a lot of times there are people around that can help, but sometimes we don't always engage them. So I want to give you tools to continue to practice on how to surround yourself with support and to utilize the people around you in a healthy way to help get you to where you're trying to be, which is that better life, that life that you're the star of. That's what I want to get you to. Now, if you don't know who I am your host, Dr. Ericka, Harvard-trained double board certified. I can't talk. Harvard-trained double board certified psychiatrist and post. You know what? This is when I wish I had my podcast editor, Ray, to fix things. Because you're getting to see me tongue-tied because I am still dealing with a little bit of feeling tired after all of my allergies at homecoming and being outside in a dust bowl. So again, you know me, I'm Dr. Ericka, your Harvard-trained double board certified psychiatrist and host of the hit podcast, Better with Dr. Ericka, that we'll talk about later. I'm irrationally passionate about helping people be better and do better and live better. I do that through my adult telepsychiatry practice. My books, including Fix Your Fairy Tale, A Woman's Guide to a Great Life and Legacy. My podcast, Better with Dr. Ericka, and my corporate speaking. I do all of this to help busy people like you that pour into everyone, that you show up for work, you show up for your friends, you show up for your family, you show up for your community, but oftentimes you don't show up for yourself. So I do all of this to put you back in your life. So today, if you're tuning in late, we're talking about lessons from Spelhouse Homecoming about community. The next thing is a couple housekeeping tips, and then we're going to get straight into it. First housekeeping tip is if you know someone that needs this, please share. Just hit the little button, share at the bottom. The next, if you know someone that needs this, you can tag them. You know, sharing is caring. And if you're watching it later, don't even worry about it. Put hashtag replay in the comments and we will circle back. Now, a lot of people are on a high this weekend. We had Spelman and Morehouse homecoming. So that's how we get Spelhouse, Spelman, Morehouse. If you aren't aware of these really important historically Black colleges, is that Spelman is one of 2 all-female historically Black colleges. The other Black female college is Bennett College. And Morehouse is the only all-male historically Black college. So you put them back, Spelman, Morehouse together, you get Spelhouse. The thing to remember is you see on my sweatshirt, Spelman, so that you don't get in trouble by the Spelman women that you know. Spelman has 1 L. Spelhouse has 1 L. Hold it down. 1 L. Don't get caught out there putting 2 L's in Spelman or Spelhouse. I don't want you to do that. Good friends, look out. I'm looking out for you. This weekend also had Howard University's homecoming and Hampton. So ironically, since both say they're the real HU, it's ironic both of their homecomings were at the same time. So this was a really big homecoming weekend. Now, one of the reasons I want to talk to you is I find inspiration in everything. And part of what I love doing is helping you find inspiration to get that better life in all the things you do, all of your experiences, things that you see around you, to find that inspiration. So let's go ahead and get to it because I don't want to keep you here forever. The first thing I want to talk to is the great thing about the homecoming experience. And part of the reason it's such a community is whenever you do homecoming, especially college homecomings, there's a built in community. You all went to school together or you all went to the same place. So there is community. Now, you're going to hear a lot of us that went to HBCU say that there's something really special about the communities for a lot of the places we went to school, because it's not just where we went to school, it's an entire legacy that we become part of, and a line of history that we become part of, and that we get to witness and reflect on. So it feels more than just simply where you went to school. But these communities can be really important. And one of the things you'll find in community at homecoming, but in community in general, that this reminds me of, is there is a power in being present. And at homecoming, people generally are present. They're not sitting at homecoming texting or making a million phone calls. People are present and they're listening and having conversations, be it about what everyone's doing now, what they're looking for, what their aspirations are, what's been going on in their life the last few years, or even what dream somebody wants to have today. But people are really present with each other. And I think that's one of the huge things that are really powerful with community, is that power of having people that are present in the moment, holding space for you. So I wanted to bring that out because that's something really important. So even if it's not homecoming, one of the hugest powers of community is having people be present, really present and just tuned into you. The next thing is built into homecoming is one of the things I love about the Spellhouse community is it's a bunch of really like-minded individuals. People have always asked me, Dr. Ericka, why do you live Atlanta? Why do you keep coming back to Atlanta? Because if you may not know my whole story, I've lived quite a few places other than Atlanta. Even after I did college, med school, and residency here, I still lived other places before I came back. One of the things I love about the energy of Atlanta that is also reflected in the culture of Spelman and Morehouse is that it's a culture of a lot of change agents. It's cultures of people that are looking to make the world better. It's cultures of people that have a culture of excellence. And the thing that comes with community is being around like-minded people. And it makes it easier to support each other when people are like-minded. Now, I'm not meaning that you all are the same and it's like Stepford witches and Stepford wives and nobody thinks anything different. But being like-minded, you can also challenge each other, but really have that synergy. The next thing you find in community and at homecoming is inspiration. One of the things I love the most about homecoming is that my classmates and people that went to college with me, they inspire me. I see all the wonderful things that people are doing personally and professionally, because you all know my mother was a homemaker. So I also have a great deal of respect and admiration for those people that have really made having a family work, that are raising good humans, that are doing that boots on the ground work when it comes to family and community, in addition to professional pursuits. So I always feel so inspired at homecoming, seeing what people are doing. Many of you know that my class of 95 classmate is Stacey Abrams, that is running for governor. So it's just so many people doing so many great things. And even people that even personally are doing great things or persevering through challenging situations such as cancer or health scares or sick parents, is that I always feel so inspired after being in that space. And that's one thing community can also do. Community can be present. Community can give you a space where people hold space with you that are like-minded. Community can inspire you. The next thing, and I realized I didn't number them, so you actually have to listen today. Bam. Is one thing I love about homecoming is it reminds you how great you are. Because one of the things that happens so much with us at life in general with adulting, but I think it's been really tough during this pandemic and this season of all out wars on women and Black people and even Asian people. Well, and then they were locking up Latin people on the border. So it's been a rough time. is that sometimes it's great to have people pour into you by reminding you how great you are, of being able to soak up compliments while people are telling you how good you look, or you're handsome, or you're beautiful, or in my case, they listen to my podcast or they watch my live streams and they find them inspirational. But a lot of times when you go in these community spaces, especially homecoming, but other community spaces, you have people that are going to remind you of how great you are, because one of the things it's so easy for us to do is, for a lot of people, our biggest critic is ourselves. And we have a million things to tell ourselves about what is wrong or what's not quite right. And it's nice to have other people reflect to us about all the things that are great, because in this pursuit of excellence and this pursuit of wanting to be at our best, sometimes we just miss all of the good things because we're just looking at everything that needs to be improved. So one great thing about community is they can reflect back to you all of your strengths and all the things that are wonderful. And sometimes life gets tough and it gets stressful and you need reminders. And the thing I love about homecoming and environments of true community is people will pour back into you by reflecting back those good things and reminding you. Sometimes you forget how great you are. And all of you out there are great. You're watching me. I know you're great. I'm telling you, you're great. You're great. You're great over there. You're great right there. All of y'all are great. Just take it in, soak it in. Now, the next thing is that one thing I learned at homecoming was how ready myself and other people are just to support and help. Like, we're asking each other, how can I help? How can I support you? What can I do? And it's great to be in a community and in a space where people actually want to help and reach out to you. And it's a beautiful thing. I love that it happens at homecoming, but it's something that can also happen in other community. Now, the other thing though is you have to be open to accept help. That's a whole nother talk. But the great thing is when you're involved in a good community, people will want to help. And you'll also want to support others. And it ends up being this lovely, helping, positive energy situation with synergy. So it's another great thing about community. The other thing is just, we talked about some of the different ways people pour into you, but sometimes it's just nice to be loved on. Um, for our homecoming, we actually did a brunch that was pretty small. And all we literally did there, and also it happened at all the other events too, where all we did was love on each other. Like, you're reminding people how great they are, telling them how they inspire you, as the young people say, giving people their flowers in person. And sometimes it's nice just to have people love on you, that they're not there to criticize you, they're not there to analyze you, they're just there to show you love. And to me, that's another strength of community. Is part of the reason we're talking about this is the overall theme that you're probably catching is homecoming is an experience of fun, but also pouring into each other. And that's one of the strengths about community, is that element of community when community is pouring back into you and you're using it for support. And I just want to make sure that we're all leaning into that to get that support, to get poured into, and to foster these healthy relationships. The last thing is at homecoming, one of the things I love the most is people see you, not just your flaws. They see you. They really see you. And that's one of the things I love that's huge about healthy communities. And as you notice, we're talking about healthy communities, because there are sometimes where people are in community with people and it's a totally unhealthy dynamic. So we're talking about healthy communities. And it's just wonderful when you can be seen. And to me, that's one of the core basic human needs that all of us have, is to be valued and to be seen and to be loved. That those are huge. And the great thing about homecoming is you are seen. I have honestly never walked around homecoming, especially our homecoming, and seen people that just seemed invisible, that no one acknowledged or spent time with, that everyone sees each other. And it's great being seen by people that have known you a long time. And it doesn't even matter if they're people you're in touch with all the time. It's so great to be seen. And to me, that's one of the huge things to look for in community. And that can happen in community is that people can actually see you, because it feels wonderful to be seen, doesn't it? So if you're tuning in later, what we're talking about are lessons from Spellhouse Homecoming about community. So you don't have to have gone to Spellhouse to to get something from this. I did acknowledge Howard and Hampton's homecomings this weekend, and I believe Florida A&M. So those Rattlers are going to be on something next week because their homecoming is this upcoming weekend. But I really want to just take some time and share with you ways that we can take some of these lessons and inspiration from everyday life and apply them to other situations so that we can harness some of this energy year round, not just when we have large events. So if you tune in late, don't worry about it. You can always go back to the beginning. If you're watching it afterwards, just a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know you're here. If you know someone that needs this, please share. If you know someone that needs it, please tag. We're talking about lessons from Spellhouse Homecoming because it was wonderful. And I must honestly admit, I wasn't sure. I knew it would feel good on the soul, but I didn't realize how good it would feel. As you see, I've got my Spelman sweatshirt on right now, rocking it. But I just really wanted to share some of the joy that comes out of these experiences and share some of the lessons or some of the things that happens that you can translate into your regular life, be it you went to a HBCU or not, be it homecoming or not, because a lot of these lessons just apply to community in general. And as we talked about of the Better Seven, support is one of my favorites, and a large part of support is community. So we're not going to go through every single one. We're just going to go the overarching theme so I can get you out of here. One of the biggest things about lessons from homecoming is community is a space where you can actually be poured into. And one of the things I love the most about homecoming is it's literally about all of us pouring into each other. It's about us loving on each other. It's about us seeing each other. It's about us supporting, being there to help each other, being there to listen, being there to remind each other of how great we are, and to inspire each other no matter what we're doing. And I feel like the challenges everyone is dealing with in life right now, that it's important to find inspiration anywhere you can get it. And the great thing about community is you have access to people and you can kind of figure out, is someone doing something you'd like to do, or they have a skill, and it can be life skills, not just, this person is, they're a lobbyist and I'd love to be a lobbyist, or they're a CEO and I'd love to be a CEO, but maybe how do you balance having a family and a career? How did you manage to, even though you're a little older and have been really busy, to find a relationship? The great thing is we can all kind of be mentors to each other. And that's one of the great things about community. But I love that a healthy community, everyone pours into each other and people don't just take and they don't criticize. So those are some of the things to look for in community. Those are some things that I found wonderful about homecoming. It fueled me much more than I anticipated. It was great just hearing how many people appreciate the hard work I do to make the world better. And I want to just say thank you to all of you for watching, checking out my stuff. It makes me feel really, really good. And we talked about what I do. I'm your host, Dr. Ericka, Harvard-trained, double board certified psychiatrist and podcast host. I am rationally passionate about helping people be better, do better, and live better. I do that through my adult telepsychiatry, my books, including Fix Your Fairy Tale, A Woman's Guide to a Great Life, Love, and Legacy, my speaking, and my hit podcast, Better with Dr. Eric. I do all of that to help busy people like you that show up for every single person but yourself. I do this to help put you back in your life. Number one, I need to give you a round of applause because you showed up today. You took some time for yourself. Congratulations. Next thing, I got a couple of things for you. Let's see if we can make all of the things on the screen work. If you are stressed out, feeling overwhelmed, or know someone that is having some challenges, feel free. My telepsych practice is askdrgoodwin.com, askdrgoodwin.com. You can check me out and get some more information. I'm pretty easy to talk to if I do say so myself, and I am Harvard educated. The next thing is, if you need a little bit more of me than you're getting right now, just check out the podcast. It's Better with Dr. Ericka. You can find it on Audible, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all the places. Or you can go to the website, betterthepodcast.com, and take a listen. If you like what you heard, do me a favor. I need you to share it because I need more people to hear and know what's going on. And the more we share and the more people that follow, so follow or subscribe, the better content I can bring to you. And the last thing is please write a review and rate it 5 stars, please. That is very helpful. Also, the episode that came out today, we actually talk about individual and group therapy along with coaching. So I really wanted to take some time and talk about some things that people keep asking me about. And I frequently get asked either when I'm speaking or even when I'm doing consultations to new people that have not ever seen a mental health professional before, kind of what is it like? People don't know what to expect. What is it? So we actually talk about what the experience is like, why some of these different modalities exist, what are the positives and negatives, what's the difference between therapy and coaching, how can you really get the most even out of your coaching. We talk about a variety of things. And I think it's a really lively conversation that can benefit you and a lot of people. So I just want to tell you about that. And that's what I got for you tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I feel all the love. Take your left hand, put it on your right arm, right hand, left arm. Give yourself a big squeeze because you deserve a hug. Have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you next week, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And you know how to find me on the pod too. So have a good night.